Welcome to the Global Peace Project. I had an idea that I really wanted to talk about, so didn't have anybody to talk to right now that thought, well, nobody that I thought I wouldn't be waking up so I could record this. That's probably the best part. Anyway, I was actually somewhere in the information that I've learned. I kind of go over in this book that I had written back in 2015 when I was hanging out with some witches, some beautiful women, Tara and Tanya. They're amazing. If you ever have an opportunity to meet Tara, and I had a few people that have. I met her again last summer. And some of the things that I'd come in contact with was, number one, the laws of the universe, which, there's basically 14 different laws, and one of them is, the first law is all is one. Second is the law of vibration. The third is the law of, I don't know where the other part of the book is. What is the third? I do know 5 is the law of cause and effect. The law of compensation is 6. The law of attraction, which a lot of us have heard, like energy attracts like energy. 8, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. It states all persons have the ability to change who they are. Everybody, you and me, have the ability to change who they are. That is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. That's your gift as a human. What I really was thinking about and wanted to share, should I say, was questions that we ask ourselves sometimes. And one of the things that popped up when I had a little bit of a disagreement with a young man. He tried to motivate me with anger. He yelled in my face, and this is just the reality that I'd seen, and said I did not belong where I was at the top of his lungs. And I tell you, man, I remember looking at him. I looked him in the eyes, and he was saying, "Dwayne, you don't belong here." I was over at Club East. Now, interesting enough, and I'd been working with Spirit and my angels, and I told my angels they could do whatever they wanted to do. And I had asked the question, did I really belong there? And it's funny, it was kind of like an answer. I should have gave him a hug. Yeah, but I didn't. I said, okay. I got upset a little bit, and there was a little bit of a squabble next to me. 2 friends. One of them had said something online. Anyway, he's in a wheelchair, and a lady that I wouldn't want to mess with, right? Anyway, he gets out of his wheelchair in the midst of this guy doing that, and he goes, "You want to fight me?" Talking to her, and I'm like, I just totally switched modes, and I walked straight over there. I said, "Get back in the wheelchair. You are not going to touch her." I think she might have kicked his ass. She's there. I'm telling you, I wouldn't mess with her. Anyway, and I stumbled upon these thinking, your attitude. You will only go as far as your attitude will let you. You will only go as far as your attitude will let you. And, I was thinking to myself, you have a gold mine that you don't even really know about. And I had not known about. Yet, my gold mine works constantly. I had a friend of mine, Aaron. We had not spent much time together. His girlfriend Danica. She's fucking amazing. Uh, kind of introduced us, and we'd spent some time together, and he goes, it's friggin' amazing. You know, he said to me in words, it's amazing how many ideas you come up with, because it's like a magic show. Well, I've been practicing it, and what I've been doing is, this thing I wrote down in my book. It's pretty cool. And it's talking about the gold mine between your ears. Thinking deliberately. Use the gold mine. Wake up on an hour early every day. Sit and think. Come up with 5 ideas a day. Now, you think, well, 5 ideas, that's not much. 1 idea is a lot. But you wake up, 5 ideas a day, 7 days a week, that's 35 ideas a week. 35 ideas. 35 ideas a week is 1,820 ideas a year. 1 idea, a millionaire. You're a millionaire, baby. Billionaire, trillionaire, quadrillionaire, just off of 1 idea if you can work it through. And see, the attitude is going to be, will only go as far as your attitude will let you. Beginning now, act like the person you want to be. Act like the person you want to be. And the secret was, treat all men as if they're your brother and their neighbor next door. Love them. Treat them with peace. It's amazing. I am that I am. Visualization. Oh, tool and visualization. If you'd like a copy, I'd be more than happy. Anyway, remember, donations. We need them. I mean, if you could pass this, and this is just a message, pass it to 7 people. 7 people, and if just 7 people, 25 cents, 50 cents, I don't know, Global Peace Project, money sign, Global Peace Project. You could even do $1. I don't know. But maybe not. If you ain't got it, it's okay. That's why I'm sharing this stuff, because guess what? Everybody deserves to know. And like it said, Dr. Joe Dispenza says, in a day of information, ignorance is a choice. In a day of information, ignorance is a choice. You don't have to be ignorant. You don't have to be what somebody else says you are. You can change. The perpetual motion of being able to change. Every human being has that power. All you have to do is take control over this baby. The noggin on your head. That is the key. Because if you can't control your thinking, you're pretty well screwed, is what Abraham says. Esther. Because you're being driven by other people on how they come out. Now, the Robert incident, it was Robert. He always says he's a problem. Robert always says he's a problem. And that is an issue, because remember, we become what we think about most of the time. It's not what other people think, it's what we think. That's what matters. And today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Today is the day of yours, by choice, because you can do anything. It's just a matter of stepping up and being that which you want to be, because only you can be it, and because only you know it. Follow your heart. Be the version of you want to be. And today is your day of your amazing good fortune, because you're living today. Not living for somebody else, but living for you and doing that which has been placed inside of you, because you are the gift. You are the gift in this world by being you, not somebody else. That's the key. And if you heard this message and you come up to here and you said, you know what, that is me. You know what, you can do it. I can help you if you like. I don't even need to help you, because you already know everything. But the fact is, today is your day, because when you wake up and become that highest version, because that is the highest version. Remember, the perfection is not in right now, other than right now is perfect. It's in the becoming better and better and better. And so the perfection falls into right now, because right now is the only mode that you can be at. So why not be the highest version of yourself? Stop hurting others. Be loving, be kind, be gentle. Be loving and kind and gentle, even when you have the world by the balls. Be loving and kind and gentle, 'cause if you're not, it kicks really hard. Be loving and kind and gentle. Today is your day. Let's be that version of you and me. I'm working on the song. What do you think? Zeus out.